Hello, everybody, and thank you for being with us on this Thursday morning. It is September 11th. Forget. Many of you taking a moment today, I hope, to just honor those nearly 3,000 lives that were lost on that day back in 2001. There are a lot of celebrations, or excuse me, I should say remembrances that are taking place here across the metro Atlanta area, as many are taking the time just to honor those lives that are lost. It's one of those days, especially right now, where a lot of people's hearts are just heavy after what has been happening in the country this week, what happened yesterday, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. But again, there are many things that you can find on our free Atlanta News First app and on the Atlanta News First website so that you can learn what is happening throughout the city to honor those lives lost. Now, one of the big stories this morning is about Charlie Kirk, who is a well-known conservative activist and ally of President Trump. He was assassinated yesterday while out speaking to students on a college campus in Utah. Obviously, when this news first came out, people had their initial thoughts about that. There's been anger within the country. There's been a lack of understanding within the country. And right now, there are students at Georgia Tech who are condemning violence against political leaders overall after he was shot and killed. It is important to note that these were college visits like the one that he did in Utah. He was best known for that, where he would give people a chance to debate him about topics that they were feeling strongly about. And he was really big on free speech and whatnot as well. But this morning, state lawmakers and college students here in Atlanta are reacting to that news. Atlanta News First, Sarah Hammond has more about how those students at Georgia Tech are feeling about this.
We spoke to students with differing political views, but all of them say they were shocked to see what happened yesterday and condemn the political violence. Georgia political leaders like Governor Brian Kemp and Georgia Republican Chair Josh McCoon expressed their sadness and outrage. Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene called yesterday a dark day, and Democratic Georgia Senators John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock called it unacceptable and appalling. Now, Kirk had a large following in Georgia and held events at Georgia Tech and Georgia State University. Both colleges have a local Turning Point USA chapter, and some students we talked to say the heated debates that Kirk was known for may have created more strife, but called his death abhorrent.
You have to look at the effects of what that, and obviously it's not just his side that's doing it, but when we say things like these and we contribute to this divisive extremist culture where we're like so polarized as a country, it's only a matter of time before people lash out.
It was incredibly graphic. It was, scary and like shocking. Like, shouldn't come to something that extreme.
Flags will be flown at half-staff today, including here in Georgia. At Georgia Tech, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
And another story that we're watching at this hour regarding a big situation from overnight where there was a Clayton County Sheriff's deputy that is still recovering in the hospital right now after a crash that took place on Interstate 75. Atlanta News First Don Shipman has more from Grady Memorial Hospital with what we know about that deputy's condition.
This really was a violent crash, multiple vehicles involved and innocent bystanders hurt, including that sheriff's deputy now listed in critical condition here at Grady Memorial. I want you to take a look at this video right here. It shows the response from law enforcement here at Grady. You can see those officers right there, dozens of them, showing up here at Grady to show their support. Here's what we know happened. Deputies say that it all started when that deputy was chasing a car through Forest Park. During the pursuit, they ended up on I-75. The suspect lost control and crashed. Then an 18-wheeler swerved to avoid the crash, but instead slammed into the deputy's vehicle, pinning it against the guardrail. That deputy vehicle was on its roof. It flipped. New information too from Georgia State Patrol right now. They say that another car with two people in it was hit by a tire that flew off the tractor trailer. Those two had minor injuries, as did the driver of the big rig. The suspect was not hurt. We're still waiting to find out about charges for that suspect. As for I-75, it was closed down late last night and overnight for several hours. It has since reopened. It is not impacting your morning commute. We're here outside Grady Memorial Hospital. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
Well, months after the cyber attack in Fulton County that knocked out its system, the former county employee is suing. You have to hear this. He says he and his team were not responsible for that hack, but they were blamed anyway. The lawsuit that has been filed claims the supervisor was repeatedly using discriminatory words towards his team, including the use of the N-word. That employee is Nigerian, according to the lawsuit. The suit also claims that an investigation of the incident, found computers of other employees were used as entry points in the attack, but the employee was treated like it was his fault. The employee was eventually fired. He is now seeking damages from the county. All right, lastly, I know a lot of people are excited about this. We're getting closer and closer to when the FIFA World Cup is going to be here in Atlanta. Now, here's the deal. People understand that means a lot of fans are coming to experience our city and all of the surrounding cities. Atlanta being one of the host cities, several matches going to be played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but we are already seeing communities that are getting ready for what is to come. Atlanta News First reporter Adam Murphy has more about what the city of Decatur is doing to help some of those businesses out in that area.
Before Monday, this was the storefront here.
At the Little Shop of Stories in downtown Decatur, management has a pretty cool story of their own to tell. The business recently applied for a grant from the city and received funding to make improvements to their storefront.
We couldn't have done what we've done without the grant and the improvements we've done to the store. It's been incredibly helpful, and our customers love it.
The city's Downtown Development Authority just announced renewed funding of $200,000 for small business grants to beautify storefronts, repair walls, or make improvements to their online presence before the FIFA World Cup comes to town next year.
We're going to do it, yeah. Got to apply immediately. We applied last time, but so happy to hear that it's on again.
Scott Herman owns the Raging Burrito on the town square and said he hopes to benefit from the program.
Website improvements to our website, Raging Burrito, and then also do we have some exterior work we could do to beautify the front.
The city is also making upgrades to the town square, where they will host a watch fest of the World Cup every day for a month.
And we want all of our businesses to benefit from making their places more inviting and friendly for everyone who can benefit from them.
It's great. It's so great that they're that involved and care. Us having been here 27 years, we really know how much Decatur cares.
Adam Murphy, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, a lot happening in Atlanta. It's so good to call this place home. All right, we have got to switch gears. We've got to talk about your forecast. Many of you probably are already getting those weekend plans together, and you might have even noticed that it's just a little warmer out there these days. First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris is here. Rodney, I thought we said summer was just about gone, but it feels like it's trying to hang on just a little while longer.
Brooks, summer is definitely coming back, okay? I want to repeat that. Summer is coming back. And it's a little interesting because, in the mornings you've had to hit that jacket, a long sleeve shirt. So we do not want you to be fooled, everybody. Summer is coming back, especially this upcoming weekend. And what you're looking at right now are your hour-by-hour temperatures for Atlanta. So yesterday's high, Brooks, was 85 degrees. That high happens between about 3 and 4 o'clock. Today it will be a little bit warmer, as you can see there. So that is our story for today. We'll continue to see mostly sunny skies. Yesterday was completely clear. A few more clouds out there today, but overall mostly sunny. So at lunchtime, 80 degrees. At 3 o'clock, 87. By 6 o'clock, we're down to 84. And if we're headed out this evening, by 9 o'clock, 76. Another key about today is the humidity will stay low, so you do not have to worry about it being super sticky. Whenever it gets really hot like this and those temperatures in the upper 80s near 90, one of the issues that we worry about is the humidity. It doesn't feel that great on your skin, but the humidity will stay low today, so it will not be sticky for you if you are going to be out and about. 87 in Atlanta, 86 in Griffin, 81 up there in Blairsville. So if you're in the mountains, you'll continue to be a little bit cooler compared to everybody else. I want to talk about the tropics now because we are watching the tropics. Yesterday was the peak of hurricane season. We're basically in the peak of the season right now in the Atlantic, and we don't have any storms out there officially. However, we have another little tropical wave off the coast of Africa. So if you followed us with these tropical updates over the past couple of weeks, you'll know that this is fairly normal this time of year. These little waves come off the coast of Africa, and then they move westward toward the Caribbean. Usually takes some time for them to get to the Caribbean. The last tropical wave that came off the coast of Africa never even made it to the Caribbean. It never developed into an official storm. So this that we're watching now has a 30% chance where you see that yellow. And there are actually several waves that our models are showing coming off the coast. So that's a zone we'll be watching for you. But if there's something that we feel like truly will become an issue, we'll let you know. But I just want you to know this is fairly normal to see this pattern with these little tropical waves. Whether or not they actually survive is something that we'll keep you up to date on. Nothing that we'll have to worry about for at least a week. I want to show you this as well. So that stationary front that you said, it's called a stationary front because it was a cold front when it moved through North Georgia over the weekend. That's why it's so nice this week, but it's stuck in Florida. It's not moving anymore. And this time of year in the summer when the water is really warm and you get those showers and storms that develop along the water, sometimes you can get these low pressures that develop. We've had that happen several times this summer. Some of those have actually developed into tropical storms. So our modeling is showing the potential for a low developing maybe this weekend going into the beginning of next week. The National Hurricane Center does not have this peg yet. They're not really watching this as a zone of development. So this low may be something that's just producing rain. It may not be tropical in nature. But I wanted to show you that because both of our medium range models are showing what may be a little low pressure trying to develop off the coast. Again, that would be this weekend, early next week. It doesn't look like that's a big deal, but that is also something that I'm watching for you very carefully. So here is your 7-day forecast, bringing it close to home. There's just not much happening here. We're going to continue to see mostly sunny skies. Highs are going to be in the upper 80s, low 90s just about every day. Your humidity level is going to stay low every day. So for the next few mornings, Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, those lows are going to stay in the 60s, which means if you're in the suburbs and in the mountains, the upper 50s. So that's a very pleasant start to your day over the next several mornings. And then notice that by the time we get into the beginning of next week, those lows are going to creep back up to close to 70. So if you've been enjoying these fall-like mornings in North Georgia, that'll continue through the weekend, and then those morning temperatures will start to warm back up a bit by next week. Otherwise, as you can see, there is no rain chance in the 7-day forecast. There are no first alert weather days. And first alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey and I, we've been looking through the modeling data. We don't even see any rain beyond the 7-day forecast. I mean, we're just not seeing any major feature to impact North Georgia for a little while, even beyond a week. So if you have anything you need to do, yard work, any outdoor projects, now is the time to do it because we just don't have any rain in your forecast at all for the foreseeable future. We did a count on this, and there's been 18 straight days without measurable precipitation in the city of Atlanta. 18 straight days. It's almost 2 weeks without any measurable rain of any kind in Atlanta. And unfortunately, that number is going to continue to go up. We are also officially in a deficit, just under 2 inches below average for our rain for the entire year in Atlanta. That's not an issue now, but we watch those numbers because once we start that deficit and we get all these days without rain, as you know, that could eventually lead to drought issues. We're not seeing that now, but that's something we're going to have to start monitoring for you if we continue to go so many days without rain. And we know, as you can see, we're at 18 days right now without measurable rain, and we're going to add at least 7 to that with this 7-day forecast, and maybe more than that. So that's maybe a concern down the road, but that's something we'll certainly keep you up to date on if that really does become an issue. But what you see there, beautiful 7-day forecast, no issues going into your upcoming weekend. We guys hope that you enjoy the weekend, enjoy today. First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey, she's working on your updated forecast for Atlanta News First at noon. You can always get that forecast in the First Alert weather app. We hope you guys have an amazing Thursday, and until next time, we'll see you soon.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF Plus. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.